Marvel fans, we've got some shocking new reveals from insiders. This has to do with Robert Downey Jr., Doctor Doom, Wanda Maximoff, details about what legacy characters you might see in Doomsday as well as Secret Wars, and some absolutely insane reveals about the possibility of multiple Reed Richards being involved in this, the end of the Multiverse Saga. And so in this video, we got to break it down, but I'm going to fill it in with context for all the news and rumors we've been following over the past couple of years. First up, this is coming from Alex Perez and the Cosmic Circus. As I continue to say, they are some of the best in the business with an incredible track record of accuracy on their scoops. And for the record, Alex is promising a lot of really cool info dumps this month in their various Q&As, so I will be following all of those and updating you guys if anything super sweet is revealed. First up, let's talk about the next year leading into Doomsday. So Alex was asked, besides Fantastic Four, how important is next year's slate for Doomsday and Secret Wars? And his answer, next year's Marvel slate has a lot of interesting factors that will build upon the foundations for the next Avengers films. The big role some of these projects have is setting up where all major players for the next Avengers films are going to be. So for example, Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four, Blade, Wonder Man, and Ironheart have the task of setting up the major players involved in Avengers Doomsday. What if Season 3, I heard, will also have some very important setup that'll come into play later on when it comes to the Avengers films. And there is a chance we may see characters like Uatu, Captain Carter, and Corey set up. The rest of the slate right now is more isolated and had stories that aren't all that important to the multiverse narrative as far as I can tell. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now let me give you some context as far as what does this mean. He's referring to movies like Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, Blade, which is really interesting because this seems to be Alex corroborating other reports that Blade will actually happen during the Multiverse Saga. Remember that the reports from a couple of weeks ago about that movie being delayed again were actually not accurate. They were very old reports of when Marvel had internally taken Blade off of its release schedule. But according to stuff we talked about last week, people are suggesting that Blade's actually going to go into production. It will be shooting before you know it, and it might even happen in between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, which of course also implies that Blade himself could be an important player in something going on in Secret Wars, maybe in Doomsday. And Alex puts Wonder Man and Ironheart into that basket as well. And so basically what he is saying is all of these movies are going to be important for setting up where all of the players are at when Doctor Doom comes to 616. And in the past, we have reported that there are big time rumors that at the end of Brave New World, you're going to get it revealed that one of the characters involved in that movie knows that something big is coming to Earth. Perhaps this character will even know that Doctor Doom and Rabam Alal and maybe all of these other characters are playing a big multiversal game. And in fact, some of the stuff that happens in Brave New World will be done by specific characters to get us ready for whatever is coming. And I think the same will be true of Thunderbolts. I think the creation of Sentry is likely an extension of those same ideas and thoughts. Like, there's a big threat coming, we need to get more powerful, we need to get more ready. Perhaps Blade and his connection to magic, or even his connection to celestial technology and how that's used with magic, will be important for setting up where he will be. Ironheart and Wonder Man are likely setting up where characters like Vision, the Scarlet Witch, Ironheart herself, this agent of Mephisto in the hood, all of the pieces are going to be set on the board in a position to where they will be involved in the plot of Avengers Doomsday. Remember that Avengers Doomsday is supposed to be a very big movie with like 70 plus characters, and you're going to see a lot of the current Marvel Cinematic Universe characters in that film. And the thought process was that we would likely be seeing more of the multiversal characters in the Secret Wars movie. However, that's not exactly true, as this nicely takes us into the next big reveal from this Q&A, and that's all about legacy characters. So Alex is asking asked here, are there any Marvel Legacy characters, Tobey Maguire, Wesley Snipes, Nicolas Cage, etc., returning in Doomsday? Again, this question is because we really did think that most of that was going to happen in the part 2. Most of that was going to happen in Secret Wars. And Alex's answer is kind of lengthy here, but it's really telling. He says, there have been conversations about ideas about practically all Marvel Legacy characters, but the important thing here is to not bring them in for the sake of a small one-and-done cameo appearance, and that's a very big part of why they are so selective with the appearances of these characters. Kevin Feige and co. want these characters to serve a purpose and actually have some action to them, a story to tell, if you will, no matter how short it may be. And you can see it in their previous execution. If you look back at all the appearances, all the way from Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Multiverse Madness, The Marvels, and even Deadpool and Wolverine, the appearance of these legacy characters served a purpose to the story. Marvel Studios honored their past and gave them their moments to shine. And that's the spirit and driving force behind these legacy appearances. They have to serve a purpose to the story. But that's like a massive side answer to your question. My bad. To answer your question, yes, you can expect legacy appearances in both Doomsday and Secret Wars. If I were to add one more suggestion for a possible legacy appearance that could serve a purpose in the story, a Council of Reed featuring Ion Gufrid, Miles Teller, John Krasinski, and maybe even Alex Hyde White, along with actors rumored to be up for the role like Adam Driver, could show up at some point in the near future. And holy banana nut muffin on a Sunday morning, that is mind-blowing. So first off, legacy characters in Doomsday and Secret Wars, right? And this makes sense. I mean, we had heard Daniel RPK saying that Marvel was highly considering putting Deadpool and Wolverine into Doomsday now, especially after how successful that movie was. And even before that, they had changed what was originally the story of Avengers 5 to become more multiversal. I think Marvel realizes they kind of need to get to it, and they can't have Doomsday just being the 616 Avengers losing to Doctor Doom only to set up all the cool multiversal stuff after that. So I think you'll see a lot of legacy characters in Doomsday, as that movie is going to be really multiversal now. And yes, there will be characters on 616 dealing with a big earthbound threat, but it's looking like you'll have characters like Doctor Strange and Tom Holland's Spider-Man dealing with really wild multiversal elements. So I think you're going to see some crazy stuff going down. Maybe even that X-Men world with Monica Rambeau, Charles Xavier, Beast, and Binary. And if Doctor Doom is going after anchor beings and taking their sort of cosmic power to be able to stop the Beyonders, which is like a big rumor that's out there, then they can put a ton of these legacy characters into the movie. But it's important to remember what Alex is saying. They have to have a story purpose. Even if the scene is not very long, it needs to make sense for the story. It needs to honor the legacy of the characters. It needs to make sense. We're not just throwing cameos at the wall. They have to feel good for the story and for the fans. And let's talk about the Council of Reeds, because this is mind-blowing stuff, right? Alex is literally saying that you could get Miles Teller, you could get people that were up for the role of Mr. Fantastic, like Adam Driver. You could get Ian Gufrid, that's the guy that did it in the old 2015 stuff with Chickless and friggin' Chris Evans. Miles Teller, John Krasinski, even Alex Hyde White, the guy that played him in the Cormac Fantastic Four that was never officially released. My God, that's a lot of Reed Richards. But it's also important to note that Alex is not saying that that will be in Doomsday. He says that'll be happening relatively soon. And I think that points to the Fantastic Four. And it's important to remember that rumors about the Fantastic Four movie having a Council of Reed go back years. Charles Murphy was one of the first to report that the working production title for the Fantastic Four movie was Solve Everything Productions. And Solve Everything was literally the story that involved the Council of Reeds and Reed Richards trying to solve all the problems in the universe. And that's something that took him to meet this multiversal group of variants of Reed Richards. This could actually explain why so many different actors were rumored to be out for the role of Reed Richards. Maybe they actually all got the part. But Pedro Pascal will be the main Reed Richards, the one that we will follow through the story of the Fantastic Four movie, and the one that's likely to become the 616 Reed Richards after Secret Wars and the soft reboot of the MCU. And this stuff is freaking mind-blowing, but I got one more bonus thing for you here because Alex Perez basically confirmed that Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, will be working with RDJ's Doctor Doom in the Multiverse Saga. Now, I'm probably going to do a whole video on this because I think it's really interesting, but it's important to talk about what Alex said. So he was asked about different team-ups or pairings that he's heard of for Doomsday, and here's what he said. I'm going to let you in on a pairing I've heard rumored for a while now, and it's made its way already on social media. But there is credence to the rumor of the Scarlet Witch being paired up with Doctor Doom for Doomsday. But I do want to clarify that this isn't some weird marriage scenario like in the comics. Wanda's goal will be to try and undo the mistakes she made whilst using the Darkhold. This is going to be all about her redemption arc. Now, again, I am fascinated by this team up. I'm fascinated by Children's Crusade and Wanda Maximoff and Doctor Doom being teamed up together. I think it's awesome. And I know that there was initially a rumor out by My Time to Shine Hello that they might be lovers and that might be something that Marvel Studios is cooking with. I know people have mixed feelings about that. I think it's awesome. I think people misinterpret that whole thing that happened in the Children's Crusade story with Wanda marrying Doctor Doom. Like, everybody thinks that Doom was manipulating her. That's not really what was happening. And I saw some people suggesting that this report from Alex was debunking the fact that Wanda and Doom will be lovers or have a romantic thing. And I don't believe that. I don't think that's what he's saying. I think what he's saying is it's not going to be a weird marriage thing like it was in the comics. So they're not going to be getting married, but they could still absolutely have feelings for each other and they could still absolutely be lovers. I think that could still be real. Now, what Alex is saying about her wanting redemption and wanting to undo all the stuff that she did when she had the Darkhold, that actually lines up really well with what actually happened in the Children's Crusade. Wanda was trying to bring her children back, but she literally also brings Scott Lang back, somebody that she killed. So I'm kind of thinking that just like what might happen with Tom Holland's Peter Parker, where Doctor Doom will offer him the life he's always wanted and the ability to undo the mistakes of casting that spell in No Way Home, I also believe that Doctor Doom will allow Wanda to have the life she truly wants, to undo all the mistakes she made while she was using the Darkhold. So it really seems like this monkey paw situation, Doctor Doom offering the chance to undo the mistakes and give them their sort of dream life in the new 616 universe. It seems like that's all real, and it's a big part of what's going to be happening in Avengers Doomsday. As always, this is a lot of info out there, and if we get any updates about any of these little stories, I will bring it to you either in a video or over on our live streaming channel. A lot of this stuff is super exciting to me. I want to know what you think about it, so let me know in the comment section below. And as I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.